Throughout this video will be notes from Anatomy for Sculptors by Eldis Zarens, a few of my own drawings, as well as copied illustrations from Drawing Form and Pose by Tom Fox, Classic Human Anatomy by Valerie L. Winslow, and Morpho by Mikel Loricella, which I'll be crediting accordingly. As I assume most of you are already aware, men naturally produce more testosterone in their bodies while women produce more estrogen. These hormones are what give people the physical characteristics that we recognize as being either male or female. This is also why young children tend to look androgynous. They don't produce as much of these hormones until hitting the fun stages of puberty. In this video, I'll be covering the most identifiable features of male and female anatomy. And before people get all woke on me in the comments, yes, there are men with more feminine features and vice versa because hormonal levels and genetics are on a spectrum. For the sake of simplicity, I'll only be focusing on the furthest ends of this spectrum. If you want to design a female character with more masculine features, that's fine. Just think of this as a jumping off point. Okay. We on the same page? Good. Facial features. Here we have a typical male and female head. Those neat little hormones I mentioned have an effect on many things throughout the body, one of which is skull shape. Men tend to have a more prominent brow and jawline, while women's are less obvious. Think of men as having sharper features and women as having softer ones. Men will sometimes have more prominent cheekbones than women, but whether you choose to draw them at all depends on the kind of design you're going for. Keep in mind that drawing the cheekbones will make a character appear a lot older. You can also make women appear more feminine by giving them fuller lips and thicker eyelashes. The most important concept here is sharp versus soft. These other things are more optional. You'll notice that neither of these head drawings have any hair, which is intentional. While hair on women tends to be longer, some men are just as capable of growing theirs out, which makes it irrelevant to what we're trying to accomplish. You should, for example, be able to draw a character with a short hairstyle that still presents as being female. The same can be said about height. Men are, on average, taller than women, but that's not always the case, as I can attest to. Men also tend to have thicker necks than women, with a more visible Adam's apple, or if you want to sound smart, laryngeal prominence. Here's a few panels from Invincible to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, since it is rather subtle. And here's another example emphasizing that difference in thickness between male and female necks. It's exaggerated here for stylistic purposes, but making men appear thicker and women as thinner is an effective way to differentiate them. Realistically, the muscles of the neck will be just as visible regardless of gender, but making the sternocleidomastoid muscles more visible on men will add to that masculine appearance. Which brings us to the torso. Men have wider shoulders than women, and women have wider hips than men, which produces a sort of triangle shape in each, both right side up and upside down. You can think of men as being top-heavy and women as being bottom-heavy. The broad shoulders seen in men are partly due to them having slightly wider rib cages, but are also due to men having more developed trapezius muscles. Notice the more dramatic curve to the shoulders on the female figure compared to the male one. The wide hips seen in women are due to them having a wider pelvis, which is helpful when you have to push out a tiny human. This difference in pelvis shape is also why male bodies appear more streamlined, while female ones appear curvy. Depending on body type, these curves could be very subtle or exaggerated. Either way, hips on women will always be at least slightly wider than their upper torso. Taking a look at the back, you can see how this difference in pelvis shape affects the glutes. Male glutes are very square in shape, while female ones are wider at the bottom. Now we'll get into physical composition. Men tend to have a high amount of muscle tissue, while women have a higher amount of body fat. This means that musculature will be more visible on men while it's hidden on women. The muscles are still there, we just don't see them as clearly. Keep in mind that we're talking about percentages here. Even women with slim figures will typically have a higher percentage of fat in relation to muscle tissue. And this of course depends on how often you give those muscles a workout. Women can put on muscle too, it'll just take longer compared to their male peers. Regardless of body type, most body fat on women will be distributed towards the upper arms, breasts, waist, and thighs. These stores of fat on women are fairly constant. Male bodies store fat in a lot of the same places, but it will only be obvious if they're overweight. On the topic of men, it's important to note that their muscles don't have to be larger, just more noticeable. Whether you're drawing a bodybuilder or average Joe who lives 2 doors down from you, muscles on both of them will be visible regardless of size, assuming they both have a low amount of fat. And now, at the risk of getting this video demonetized despite the fact it falls under educational content, we're going to talk about boobies. No, the more popular kind. Despite what my analytics say, I am trying to maintain a PG-13 vibe with this channel, so let's all be mature about this, yeah? Breasts are not made of muscle, but are instead pockets of fat that sit over top of the pectoral muscles, placing them about 2/3 of the way down the ribcage. Because the breasts are composed of fat, they're affected by the downward force of gravity, and will change shape depending on what position they're in, similar to a water balloon. Here's a comparison of the chest as seen from the front. Female breasts spread out more than the pecs, creating a wider gap in between them. The gap between the male pecs is a lot smaller, with less curvature to them. Seen from the side, breasts flow downward before curving in at the bottom. Comparatively, the pecs are made up entirely of straight lines. The concept of sharp versus soft I brought up earlier is good to keep in mind here. Lastly, as seen from this top-down view, breasts point outwards at an angle. This is important to note since it's common for beginner artists to draw them pointing directly forward, which will make them look unnatural. Like any other body part, breasts also come in many shapes and sizes, which I won't be getting into here, but I recommend checking out Proko's videos on the topic for more detail. And with that, you can now use this wealth of knowledge to draw your chiseled war veterans and bodacious babes. Now get on out of here, but not before checking out some of my other videos.